Hey, it's Finny Commit. I'm back for another Palia tour. I'm here with Ashlyn Bloom, and it's always an honor to get re-invited out to a plot. She was very excited to invite me back out with some new stuff. Ash, how you doing?
I am doing great. Thank you for coming. I'm super excited to show you this one.
I'm super excited to be here. I know you always bring your A game, so it'll be exciting to see what you cooked up for us today.
Yes.
So, veteran tour guide, where are we going?
So this plot is Bloom Nature Center. It is a nature park for the education and conservation of the Palian wildlife.
Awesome.
So I'm really excited because I love parks. You've seen my other plots, and I have to have woods and trails.
Yes.
And this was like the icing on the cake for me.
Oh, I love how you've mixed the different floral elements, and I like how people have been using the leaves as sort of like mulch. That's really clever.
Yeah. Yes, it's so good. I was gonna fill these with a bunch of flowers, like completely full, but then I was like, that's gonna affect my item limit, so I will just hide the pots with some leaves.
Oh yeah. And we love a good gazebo. Tell me about this gazebo.
We do. So this gazebo is the Botanical Garden Greenhouse Gazebo.
Oh, see? This is awesome. For those of you who don't know, Ash is a certified Cluttercore Palian housework.
I might have a problem.
Let me tell you, it's been so much fun to kind of see different design styles. And every time I see somebody that does Cluttercore, I have a special appreciation because by definition, to get this kind of a look, you have to iterate. Like you gotta do it in layers.
Yes. Oh, this is a very, very layered gazebo. I used the presents to elevate the leaves to cover all the pots. And then I had to put in the border first. Then I had to put in the leaves, and then I had to put in all the different plants and kind of Jenga them and piece them in together.
Yeah.
It was pretty challenging.
So lots of caffeine was consumed to make this gazebo, I'm sure.
Yes. Lots of coffee.
Yes. Well done. Well done.
Yeah. So usually with my plots, I choose pink and green. For this one, I decided to do blue and green.
Oh, nice.
To go with the fish and the bugs.
Yeah.
To pull them together.
That is nice. I like how, of course, you framed in the door with the leaning trees. Oh. I'm already getting distracted. I need to like stick to the plan, so
okay.
You tell me where I need to go.
We'll start by going this way first.
All right, that's good. That's a good plan. Now, this is a nice thing, too. Okay, so just noticing little things here. You terminated, like this rug is supposed to symbolize like a path, but
yes,
you terminated it with the leaves. That's clever.
The amount of leaves, individual leaves I put just for this spot was a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, no, you got to do what you got to do.
I wanted the hard edge of the rug to make it look like it was like a worn down path from the sidewalk.
Yeah, that is really, really clever. And just, man, look at you go.
Here we got a little bridge with a little water feature underneath it.
She's like, I don't need that koi pond. I'll make my own damn koi pond.
Yeah, I wanted more, but they were so expensive. So I was like, well, we'll figure something out.
This, ladies and gentlemen, by definition, is a makeshift koi pond. Look at you go.
Yes, it is.
Awesome.
Makeshift koi pond. So, another thing I chose to do with this plot is the plushies.
I love that.
I tried to utilize them to make little animals like out in the woods.
This guy just totally played around in the leaves. Yeah. Just poked his head out. What am I doing? I'm not doing anything.
Yep.
I always like how you use use these to make this little elevated walkway, which really just it's so cool. It's so cool to see. Actual koi pond, Not makeshift this
Actual
time?
koi pond, not makeshift.
Not the other one that was held together by duct tape and faith?
No. We have the little phoenix here in his little fire nest.
Oh, look at this little fire hazard.
Yeah. Flame directly on dry leaves.
Burn
Probably
brightly,
not the smartest thing to
dear
do.
Phoenix.
Yes. There's a park that I really love that has boardwalks and lots of little shortcuts.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was making this, I was kind of envisioning like somewhere where you could really, really get lost if you didn't know where you were going.
I'm proof. I already got lost within like the first 30 seconds. So Ash's. So those of you who haven't seen the other videos that I've done with Ash, her plot is the kind of plot that you really got to keep your camera low. In terms of like cinematography, because there's a lot to see, and most of the time I can kind of keep the camera angled up to see some things, but you got to keep your camera angled down low, get all the details.
Yeah. All of the details. So over here we have a little picnic area. I once again chose the corner with the flowers,
of course,
to use here.
Very nice.
And each little spot has trash cans and outhouses because, you know, when you're in the middle of the woods and you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah, just not in the trash can because we're civilized.
No. Yes, exactly.
Gina would have a heyday.
Definitely not. Definitely not in the trash can.
I've been gone for 10,000 years. What am I supposed to do with this thing? You know?
We got some little surnuk peeking through the woods over here.
Oh, yes.
I tried to make it as lively as possible.
Well,
and really feel like a nature park.
Yeah, the nice thing is that I think most of you, and y'all let me know in the comments, you know, if y'all agree or disagree, but I think most of you can appreciate the level of detail that you have. Like, there's natural trees in here that were here when the plot was instantiated, and then you come back in and you place them evenly, you know, and rotate them. So everything that you see is placed with care. And I think that's really cool.
I make sure to turn off the tree. It bothers me when they're all facing the same direction, so I try really hard to make it look as natural as possible.
Yeah. Now, I've seen lots of people that have done this too, what you've done. You kind of create a cordon around the kitsu. Just for those snaps. Gotta get them snaps in.
I think you can walk to like right here and it's still okay and he won't run away.
Look. So fancy. Work it.
So fancy.
Now every time that if I'm doing a tour, if I see a kitsu, gotta take a picture of it. Gotta take a picture of it.
Must. We'll go back this way. I wanted to show you him before we accidentally scared him.
Yep.
And then over here we have the campground.
Oh, yeah. We love a good campground because this is intense.
It's a little bit more glampy.
Yeah, but I'm missed. That's okay.
And each of them have their own outdoor bathroom.
Oh, yeah. Laundry.
And then they've got their tub, their sink, their outhouse, their little linen closet.
No, I was just saying, you know, you got stuff in a tent, so it's intense.
It's so intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are pretty much mirrored. I did use different beds and different chairs, and some of them have different lamps, but they're pretty much all the same, just different color variations.
Yeah, but that's cool though. That's cool. You have variety, different suites.
Yes.
You know, the three derpy deers. Mama derpy deer, Papa derpy deer.
Yes. And then this fire pit I was pretty proud of. You've seen the one on my bakery plot.
Yes.
Where I used the little crystal lamps.
Yes.
So for this one, I put the torches down, and then I flicked the wood on top of the torches, and then I used the rocks around it to make it look more natural and real.
Yeah, that's very well done. I know people have gotten really creative with stones to do pathways and stuff like that, but that's a really nice natural look. That's cool.
It's such a good item that can be used in so many ways. Very versatile.
Yes.
I like them a lot.
Always so chill too on your tours.
Yeah.
I know most of the time I'm gonna have you'll have music playing in the background. That's kind of my style, but it's always a nice little peaceful walk. I'm imagining like what kind of music I'm gonna use for this.
Yeah, I wanted it to be very tranquil, very just like submersed in the woods. So the trails wrap around the entire property and we'll loop back around. And then in the center back here, we have like the little courtyard food court area.
Very nice.
For some nice outdoor relaxing little gazebo with some tables in it for the food court.
Check out the gazebo. Yeah. The gazebo, words. The gazebos are really nice because they're such little pockets of space, and what's really impressive, I guess, is when you first get a gazebo and you walk in it empty, they're pretty big. They're pretty large structures, but when you actually get some decorations in there, it can be really nice, tight pocket spaces for designing. It's really cool.
You can use it for so many different types of spaces as well, which is why I love them so much. They can be used in any kind of way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Getting all the little details behind the scenes. The game we love to suck at, Heavy Metal Choppa.
Yes, the one that I don't ever play.
Yep.
Just in case.
Yeah, that's for somebody else to play,
Exactly. Alrighty, so when I made this plot, I knew that I wanted to have the Silverwing and the Kitsune mirrored on either side of the gazebo, but unfortunately, due to
not being able to have nice things, I got you.
Yeah. We just have the Choppa fountain here as a placeholder for right now.
They're doing their best.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. That's very symbolic too, because the Choppas, they always mess everything up. So maybe it's the Choppas why we don't have the bird.
Yes, I blame the Choppas. And then over here, I wanted to do a hunting range.
Ooh, nice.
So we have a little hunting range. I don't have the big target yet. I'm working on getting it because I'll eventually put that here as well. But I wanted it to be separated so more than one person could shoot.
Oh yeah. It's only a matter of time before, they give us a hat with an apple on it.
Yeah, for real.
All right, I need to move out of the danger zone.
And then I made this. I smushed this all together with flicking.
This is really, really clever.
I wanted to have something that resembled a calibration bench because my uncles and my grandfather were very into hunting, and my uncle made his own arrows and had a whole setup and a whole business, and I knew that we needed something here to make adjustments to the bow if necessary.
Nice.
So I threw this together as best as possible.
I mean, that's very impressive, Ash. Really, it is. Don't hate, calibrate.
Yes, exactly. And then over here, we have another makeshift pond.
Awesome.
And I wanted to, again, have little areas with animals. So we have our little Magi dragons over there, little family of dragons.
Oh. There's one that's underneath that's just like throwing up confetti. I know it's the mushrooms, but they're just like, surprise!
Yeah. And then over here, we have the Who's It in his nest.
Ooh. Oh, no, sorry. I was saying ooh, not who. Yeah.
And then
What
this
is your
way...
quest? Sorry, I was seeing if I was going to get a quest from him.
Right, he looks very mystical.
I'm going to get a riddle.
Over here, I wanted to make an area near the pond for fishing. So we have a little boardwalk. I tested this. We cannot fish from the boardwalk. It's too far away from the pond. It makes me sad. But the idea of it is still there.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. I mean, there are some things that we have to do, yeah, as far as like filling in the gaps, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I made sure to put these planters over here because they've got the little bobbers and fishing hooks and stuff on them.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Alrighty. Now we can head inside. Ooh. I'm excited for you to see the inside.
Me too.
I worked really hard on it.
Well, I mean, if that's any indication of the stuff that we've seen so far on the outside, I know definitely it's going to be a big deal.
Alrighty, here we go.
Alright, if you haven't done so, go ahead and make sure you like the video. Let me know what you've enjoyed so far in the comments, and let's go check out the inside. Ooh, hey, wow.
Yes. So this is the ranger station. It's a gift shop. It's a supply store where you can get supplies for camping.
You got a little check-in station. Check-in chopper.
Yes, a little check-in chopper. He's a little park ranger. Got our little Ormu camper mascot up there.
Nice. So many details. So many details.
And then back here we have the public restroom.
Oh, yeah. That is nice.
With stalls.
Of course. Everybody needs to hide the toilet. That's our favorite pastime in Palia. Alien house tours, hide the toilet.
So for this space, I wanted to showcase like all the different mounted animals, and have supplies up. Like you can buy jams, bread, fruit, camping stuff, medical supplies, firewood, snowshoes, mittens, etc. Whatever need be.
Snowshoes, etc.
Right.
That's awesome.
So then over here is the...
Wait. Over here is this way. Okay, cool. Gotcha.
Bug wing.
The bug wing. Not just the... This is my bug room. No, it's the bug wing. Nice play on words. A lot of wings in here.
So, yes, very much so. And so for this space, I have all of the bugs organized by type. And it's every bug in the game.
I always like how people have been using the directional lights to showcase things, and I think that's really, really cool. Again, you know, if this is your first time seeing a build by Ash, she always does really good uses of mixing colors together. So I kind of notice, you know, the little touches of the different wallpapers that you used and the different bugs that you mixed in with those wallpapers.
Yes, I love color. I love mixing colors. Mixing and matching furniture sets as well. I feel like a lot of people, they will decorate rooms in just one particular set, but for me, there is no limits to what I use in a space.
Yeah, except for the asset count, which is why we can't have nice things, you know?
Yes, it's definitely why we can't have nice things.
Well, I mean, we can have nice things, just not as many nice things.
And then this is also the fish area over here.
Ooh. Now that's a nice contrast. Like, this has a different vibe to it.
Which is why I chose the blue and the green for the outside space. to kind of pull everything together. Once again, the fish are organized by type. So what happened is I worked on Jacob's aquarium room for him.
Yeah.
And he's a little bit OCD. So he's like, can we just have them organized by type, please? And so doing that for him, it just like ingrained in me. And I was like, you know what?
This is the way.
Yes, this is the way. And I just feel like it looks so much better. You can see all of the fish so much more easily and know exactly what there is in the game when they're organized like this.
Yeah.
It made it really easy for me to decorate the space.
Yeah, it's little tricks like that that really make or break a design, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Things that maybe our brain doesn't necessarily perceive at first, but when you're looking at it, if you didn't know, I guess, explicitly that these were organized by type, it just, your brain looks at it and goes, ah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
These fish are staring at me.
They are. They always stare.
Yep. Just passing right on through.
For each of these rooms, I wanted to have like a centerpiece separating both of the rooms. In the bug room, there's a butterfly wall.
Mm-hmm.
And then for this one, I chose to do the chest of pearls and the wheel. And I felt like it looked more nautical and fit the area.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it looks really cool because how, like you said, you made this a centerpiece within the walkway, so it definitely looks like it's a load-bearing wagon wheel.
Yes. That is pretty much it, though. I really, really love this plot.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
I just figured, a lot of people, they do like their museums and stuff, like, well, they're just have like a room on their house plot. And I really wanted to showcase the creatures of Palia as best as possible and give them a completely dedicated space.
And that's what I think sets apart what I'm calling, everyone that I happen to have done a tour with. That's what sets apart the tour guides from the rest of, the rest of people like me that just kind of go for simplicity. Is like, you don't just make a bug room. You make it a thing. You make it a space with color coordination and picking and angles and everything. And I think probably the funnest thing for me, well, one of the funnest things for me is after all is said and done, you just kind of shrug your shoulders and you're just like, and that's it. I'm just like, come on now.
Yeah.
You're like, it's no big thing, but it's a big thing, really.
I plan to implement as much as possible on here. I'll probably have to take more fence posts down to do so, but anytime I get a new plushie or anything that comes out, new fish or bug, I will add it to this plot and just try to fill it as much as possible with everything that there is to see in Palia as far as wildlife goes. Yeah.
Well, you know what time it is? It is Q&A time. Since this is a retour of sorts, not exactly a retour, but revisit. You invited me out, which I will stress it's a huge compliment for the whole tours and everything that I've done. That people have like reached out again, and I want to thank you and everyone else that has just supported me along the way. I think it's really been nice. My question for you is a fun one. You're at the asset cap, and I think you already hinted at this, right? But what do you have to sacrifice if you get more items? Like, what's the first thing to go?
The first thing to go for me on this plot, I took away borders that I didn't necessarily need. I had like in the courtyards, a lot of the trees were surrounded by the little wood bordering.
Mm-hmm.
I got rid of some of those that wasn't really adding too much to the space.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like taking stuff like that away, or fence posts, wasn't going to affect the plot as a whole. And for me, those were the easiest things to part with.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right, so second question, because I love to pick your brain and give you little challenges. Knowing you, Ash. You have an empty room, and in this empty room, you want to do lettercore. So for someone who is wanting to say, "Hey, I like Ash's style. I want to do the same kind of stuff," what advice would you give for someone who would want to decorate in cluttercore style?
Okay, so bookshelves, because you can put a ton of stuff on bookshelves. I love using the treasure chests because you can stack them up in a little corner, put all kinds of stuff on them, plants, candles, etc. Shelves to make sure your walls are filled, putting a bunch of stuff on the walls, making sure that you don't have empty spaces, and filling your corners as much as possible.
That's definitely it. How long have you worked on this plot?
I've been working on this plot since a couple weeks before Christmas.
A couple of weeks before Christmas. That is significant for sure. Yeah. I think going back to the design style, and I hope that you find it okay that I'm calling it cluttercore.
I love cluttercore.
You do? Fantastic. Yeah. So getting back just to the room scenario, right? You mentioned some items to add in, the treasure chest. This is more one of the common things that I get is people kind of get some imposter syndrome. They're like, "Oh, I don't have anything like that when you have in your videos." It's like, my house will never be ready, right? Houses are never ready. They're never done. No. In the sense of your design style, right? Given that empty room scenario, how many times do you typically would revisit a design before you feel okay about it? Just ballpark.
So usually I start with one room at a time. So I would just keep adding and adding and adding and taking away if I didn't like things. I will spend quite a bit of time in that area just looking around and looking at what areas need to be fuller. Like, for instance, this little stand. The stand was empty. I needed light in this corner. There was nothing in behind it. I was like, that space needs filled. So I just add where I see empty spaces as much as possible.
That's
until
awesome.
I feel good and the room as a whole looks cohesive and full.
And I think that's a fantastic point, right? It's very much impossible for things to be done the first time. And if you find, like, if you're working with something, this is kind of generic advice, for people that want to do this kind of design styles, like to iterate, to look at it, because you looked at that, you probably put down the stand, and then you're like, okay, it needs light. All right, so you add the light, and then you're like, okay, well, I need something else. Maybe some green something. I'm gonna try this. What does that look? No, it doesn't look good. Throw it out.
Yeah.
So it's always a process. Sometimes you gotta walk away. Sometimes you gotta sleep on it. Sometimes you gotta go grind some ore on some flowwood. Yeah.
I have an entire process with decorating. Like, I start with all the big pieces first. Like all the main furniture, all the main sofas, stands, all of that. And then once I place that down, I put my rugs in place where I think they look good after I've put all the bulk furniture in. And then I start adding the smaller details after that part is done.
That's really cool. It really is cool to learn, like, kind of how something like this comes to be. It is a process. And those of you who aren't in our Discord yet, we have all of the people that I've done tours with in our Discord who are very sweet and love to talk about their craft, which is Palia and their house, and they're very proud of it, as they should be. They're just fun to interact with, and you know, we're making things happen. It's awesome. Also, I will give a little shout out to Ash. She's also on Twitch. She has her own community. They're very sweet people. They love to bake a lot. And if you're ever in need of some cake money, or if you need to make some dough, that's where you go.
Yes, it is.
Thanks again, Ash, for having me out, and it's always a treat. I will see you.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're still here, don't forget to like the video, follow me for more Palia tours, and I will see you all in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.